Good afternoon, President, honorary guests, music experts of ASEAN, young musicians, deans of the Faculty of Music in Thailand. So we are now approaching to the very last closing ceremonies of the PGVIM International Symposium 2016. So to mark the end, we would like to showcase you some of the performance that our student has been working with a music expert from different countries. And now we would like to introduce you two of our students who has been learning how to play Burmese style piano playing. Please welcome Tisara and Good. Thank you, Junita Ang, for teaching them this. So this can be one of the good examples of how music can be transferred, can be learned from different cultures. So we have a Thai pianist learning a Burmese type of piano playing on the Western music instruments. So this is one of the examples of why we would like that the symposium is not only limited to academics to be working together, but our students together with a student from Yogyakarta Conservatory and also Seoul National Universities and the young musician from ASEAN Youth Ensembles who represent 10 different countries from ASEAN countries. They're all spending the last 4 days working together in putting some music together. We had already 2 performances on Wednesday night, which combined, for example, 5 flutists together from 5 different countries playing together. We have 2 percussionists from Malaysia and also Indonesia playing together. And now the next performance we're going to have now on stage is going to be some of our students playing together with a musician from ASEAN Youth Ensembles under the instructions of Ajahn Thai Constance, who kindly sitting over there, and then please big applause for Ajahn Thai. So he's been working very hard in putting all these different sounds together, and we are hoping that these sounds will not only represent ASEAN in some way, but also represent our friendship between our young musicians that are working together today. Wonderful. So I can say that no one among us, not even the student, could imagine that that would be the result of the 4 days workshop and how they're working together. So you can see how the music actually blend and move across borders, and they speak to each other, and you might notice that there's not even a single page of notation on that stand. So everything is remembered by heart and then translated out through the sounds of music. So that was really remarkable. Congratulations, guys, for making this happen, and thank you, Thai, again, for making such a wonderful performance. So I hope that you can continue making this conversation in music further on with your friends now that you're all friends and become part of the same families together now. Before we proceed to the end of this international symposium, could I ask Professor Jack Morrow, since he's already been here with us for the last 2 years, since 2014, with our first international symposium, to maybe just give a word of reflection to what we do here and what do you think that is important for us to continue for the next years. Thank you.
Hello. I'm sorry to speak so much. And maybe I will be just a little long, because for me, this symposium is initiating a shift. So I need to go a little forward, backwards. I came first in 2007, and my initial report was given to the Ministry of Culture on November 24th of 2007. And I discovered that in December 2007, the socio-cultural community of S.Sn was launched few days later. And today is the first time in the symposium, in the research process, where this question of connecting and resonating within the S.Sn community is really put together. So in 2007, what did I say in my report? An institution, I don't know what the institution should be, but there are 3 concerns: research and a team of teachers. First point. Second point, innovative and creative institution. And third point, an open school, opened to the environment, opened to society. I won't go and wrap it on that, but maybe I should. So thank you for that humor. And in 2010, what was really interesting is that I stepped out the plane and was directly driven to a really impressive meeting with government, ministry, and personalities of the academic world and very important personalities of the music world. And what was presented was a copy of a Western academic institution, because reflection went on that. And the answer given to us was, that's not the way to do it. So in 3 days working all together, we said, what is to be done? 2 goals were defined. One was give an important place to spreading music. And the way of chamber music was one of the way that was defined as the most relevant for the institution. And then connect. Connect what the Western classical music can bring with all the music of, at the time, Thai music. And then the idea was to settle 3, what we called at that time, bubbles. Training musicians at higher education level, research, second bubble, and the third was social-cultural concern, but what we called éducation populaire. Those 3 points were definitely chosen as the policy. And I think that today, where this social cultural environment of Asian is on the table, I think those 3 points are still relevant. To this institution, it adds complexity. Complexity of introducing concerns on traditional music. That was initially in our concerns, in our discussions, but still some steps had to be given before. So it adds complexity, which means new challenges, more problems to solve, new paths to find for the institution and the Asian self-development. I mentioned earlier Edgar Morin, which is one of my favorite books for the moment. He wrote so many books. Why? Because he's the first one to say that Western countries went the wrong way. He advocates since a long time for the new paradigm of complexity, replacing the old paradigm of simplicity, settled in the 18th century, meaning science has to divide and find the most simple element on which to build the world. By this, he means that a scientific discipline should never more be isolated from other scientific disciplines, including biology, including human sciences, anthropology, and psychology. There is no scientific answer without concerns on those areas of the knowledge, of humanity's knowledge. An answer to a question, to a problem, is never simple. It should no more be either or, as it was said earlier. That attitude is the easiest way to find an answer, but the most problematic way of finding an answer. He claims that the state of our Western world should bring us collectively to become aware of the state of our world, and from there, join together, unify, mix. Think instead of that. It is all the contrary that is happening in Europe, where we are dividing, actually. For him, only a fundamental consciousness of what we are and what we wish to be can allow us to change civilization. And if we actually fail to revolutionize our consciousness, it is because we lack spirituality, inwardness, meditation, reflection, and thinking. That is exactly what was said yesterday. Professor Sam exactly pointed that yesterday. That Asian is based on consensus. Consensus could be seen as a negative way of not taking a decision. But in that way, it was said, no decision will be taken if it goes against a single one of us, whoever he is. That is real understanding of what complexity means. All of us, but each one of us. So we have to work to find a solution, even temporary solution, to respect all those sometimes contradictory interests, global and local, everyone, single one. Quality can find many definitions. The coming generation of kids is the first generation of the history of humanity who is able to teach its parents. They know better than us how to use technology. What can we, institutional leaders and educators, teach them? They better know how to deal with technology. They know how to go on internet to find information, to find the knowledge they need. They don't need quite help for that. So what can we do? What is our topic? Quality, as we said this morning, quality, personal and interpersonal quality, helping them dealing with all that, having always in mind the two following connected questions. Am I true to myself? And am I true to my environment in all its specific and global aspects? In the process of meeting the others, it is important to understand what are our differences and what are the common points. On that consensus question, it answers exactly those two questions. Am I true to myself is how can I keep and advocate my differences? Am I true to my environment means on what can we search, work, produce to play music together in respect of those differences? Those two questions can be seen as part of one sentence. Am I true to the permanent interrelation I have with the surrounding world, close and far? We reach Edgar Morin's concern, but not only. Some very holy people on earth advocate for the concept of interdependency. If I don't exist in that permanent interdependency, I just don't exist. Professor Osborne, as an echo to what I said from Edgar Morin, insisted this morning on saying that what is happening here in Asia, this optimistic dynamic in arts and music, will become a leading example for the West. That is not a wish, he said. That's reality. So I am very admirative of what is happening here and specifically during this symposium. A very new step is starting, showing that PGVIM initially, and because it had to do that way, was quite alone. Now it cannot be separated of all that Asian context and positive dynamic. So I'm very impatient to discover that new step, meaning I don't know if I am invited next year what I will say more. Because I think next year what I would like to hear is what you are willing, what you are planning to do with what we very humbly said to you, with all those questions, because as it was said, we don't have the answer. But your answers can help us. And I have to confess that why was I so interested in helping with my questions, this institution? Just because I was unable by many politics positions to do that in France. My institution wished to do this kind of things. It was able to do it, but the government stopped it. And here it's possible. That's exactly, to give an example of what Professor Osborne told this morning. Here you can do what we have difficulties to do in our countries. So now I wish to learn from you and never more give examples. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to that dynamic Asian and to that bunch of professionals willing to find their own way. That's the biggest thanks you can say to us.
Thank you very much, Professor Moro, for such an encouraging words for all of us here, that we will, and the only thing we can do is to promise to remain true to the music that we do, to remain true to ourselves, and to remain true to our friends and society that we have here. So last, very important, if I could invite Associate Professor Kun Hing Wongchan Pinay Nitisat, the President of Princess Kalyana Institute of Music, to give a farewell speech for this symposium.
Thank you very much. So, Thai tell me that this will be farewell speech for the symposium. Okay. Yes, esteemed professor, honorary musicians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Princess Kalyana Institute of Music, thank you very much for joining us for the last 3 days. Many significant things happened during just these few days. Some were apparent, others were subtle. Among these performances were joy, dialogues were made, and friendships were forged. Music was, is, and will forever be a journey, an undiscovered path, an exploration that we can always treasure. Yet, music is also abstract, and as such, the journey. The 2 concerts that we helped creating 2 nights ago are the proof of that everything is possible. They also show us that experimentations guided by inquisitive minds and serious dedication to the arts can reveal a glimpse of the time that has not yet come to pass. As in any musical eras before our time, experimentation has paved the way for things to come. So what we need most is courage. Courage to do what we feel one must. And in this symposium, we have seen many courageous young musicians taking steps into these strange new paths. I have seen necessary questions asked and constructive answers attempted. Only with courage can music inspire people. Only with dedication and hard working can music speak and inspire. And only by doing this can music take its proper role in socio-cultural development. So once again, I would like to thank Professor Nigel Osborne, Professor Bernard Lansky, Professor Dieter Macht, Professor Jeffrey Shaki, Professor Mist Tokyo Dostia, Professor Jacques Moreau, as well as ASEAN music experts, young musicians of ASEAN, and also our PGVIM students, faculty, and staff for making this adventure possible. Thank you for taking such leap of faith with us, the faith that music is a vital part of human being. This music that will help transform our society and our world so that when we pass it on to the next generation, we will be proud that the songs we made today will forever be ringing in their ears and in their mind. Thank you very much.
So that shall be the farewell to the ASEAN that is divided. That should be the farewell to all the separations between music and people. Social, cultural development and music and art and science should forever be abolished to be separated from each other. So farewell to that, and let's take a leap of faith, as the president said, and now that join things in hand, our countries in hand, our art and our science together in hand. So please, again, if I could invite the president on stage to present a token of appreciation to our honorable guests here that kindly be presented with us. First, if I could invite our families first, the very close families, our AYE music expert, Mr. Mohammad Abu Soffian bin Mohammad Alinoordin from Brunei, please. And next, Professor Dr. Samang Sam from Cambodia. And next, Dr. Junita Batubara from Indonesia. Next นะคะ อาจารย์คำแพงธรรมวงศา Mr. Ramlan, Mohd Imam from Malaysia, please. Next, Miss Theint Sway from Myanmar. Mr. Francisco Abellana Englis from Philippines. And the next, Miss Trần Kiều Thủy from Vietnam, please. And of course, very importantly, our keynote speakers. First one, Professor Nigel Osborne, if I could invite you to the stage. Professor Dieter Mark. Professor Dieter Mark. Professor Jeffrey Shaki, please. Professor Jeffrey? Oh, that's all right. Professor Miss Torkelsdottir. Professor Jack Mohd, please. And Dr. Monica Henneman from the Royal Music Association. And also many of our friends, Dr. Ruth Roderick, อาจารย์อนันต์นาคคงค่ะ Dr. Kim Ho Ip. Kim Ho? Yes, please. And Max, is Max still with us? Mr. Max River? No, it's okay. อาจารย์โมดยาซิสซาคาเรียอาจารย์เนเมียวอัง Yes, okay. Dr. Chung Shi-ho. Yes. And our very good friend, Ajahn Thai Constant. And last but not least, we have another very important family together with us today. These are the deans from the music faculties from Thailand. So if I could maybe ask if Associate Professor Ajahn Mohd Dan Pradit to also join together with us. And we will have photos later. อาจารย์จินวัฒน์มั่นทรัพย์ค่ะ Assistant Professor Dr. Saran นักรบอาจารย์สุมิดาอังสวานนท์ค่ะอาจารย์วุฒิชัยเลิศสถากิจค่ะนะคะท่านอาจารย์วีรศักดิ์อักษรถึงค่ะท่านถัดไปอาจารย์ขจรศักดิ์กิติเมธาวีนันท์ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ดร.นาวายาชินะชาครีค่ะอาจารย์อนุสาหนองตรุษค่ะท่านผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์ดร.มนัสการพร้อมสุขกุลค่ะแล้วก็ผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์เอกชัยผู้ฮิรันด้วยค่ะพี่ค่ะอาจารย์นัสรันค่ะอาจารย์นัสรันทฤษฎีคุณค่ะอาจารย์ช้างต้นค่ะอาจารย์ช้างต้นกุญชรอาจารย์ยังอยู่ไหมคะอาจารย์ช้างต้นไม่เป็นไรค่ะแล้วก็อาจารย์ Associate Professor Dr. Joseph Bowman okay อาจารย์สุรพงศ์สุดประเสริฐค่ะอาจารย์ยังอยู่ไหมคะเย่อาจารย์อยู่กับเรา3 วันเลยนะคะอาจารย์ปองภพค่ะอาจารย์ปองภพยังอยู่ไหมคะค่ะแล้วก็ท่านผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์วันชัยเอื้อจิตเมธค่ะแล้วก็พร้อมกับนักศึกษาน้องแจ็คเชิญบนเวทีด้วยค่ะเพื่อนๆตบมือให้หน่อยเพื่อนมาอยู่ด้วยกันกับเราตลอดระยะเวลาเลยแจ็คอยู่ไหมโอเคค่ะ so maybe if we could have a pictures together why not it's the ASEANกราบขอโทษอย่างยิ่งค่ะท่านอาจารย์สุรพลธัญวิบูลย์ค่ะขอโทษด้วยค่ะเจ้าภาพท่านต่อไปของเราแล้วค่ะขอโทษไม่ตกหล่นใครแล้วนะใช่ค่ะสำคัญมากค่ะท่านนี้จะเป็นเจ้าภาพในงานใหญ่ครั้งต่อไปของเราค่ะเรียนเชิญ faculties ของ PGVIM ขึ้นมาด้วยเลยค่ะอาจารย์ดร.ชงดวีดอาจารย์เอลิซาอาจารย์ดร.ชัญญพงศ์อาจารย์สุภพรอาจารย์ดร.จิรเดชอาจารย์สิทธิชัยค่ะอาจารย์เชิญค่ะ จริงคุณนุสมนคุณทิติมาคราวนี้ขอเรียนเชิญทุกท่านค่ะปกติเราจะมีธรรมเนียมของการรวมทุกคนมาอยู่บนเวทีให้ครบจนกว่าเวทีนี้จะเต็มแล้วเราค่อยย้ายที่นะคะโอเคค่ะ please join us on stage ค่ะขอกราบเรียนเชิญคุณนวลพันธ์จากทางสกอ.ด้วยนะคะกราบเรียนเชิญค่ะ
And before we forget it, please a big hand for the fantastic work of Anotai.
And everyoneขอทีมงาน PGVIM ด้วยได้ไหมคะเท่าที่มีเลยรีนคุณสุรพงศ์คุณนุสมนคุณทิติมาสำคัญมากๆค่ะคุณน้องเพียวข้างบนนะคะพี่ต้นข้างบนขอบคุณมากๆSo, thank you very much for this year. And until next year, we meet you again in September 2017. Until next year.